You get what you pay for, as the old expression goes. It's true. It's true in many aspects, not just lawn care. I wanted to talk real quick today about something that I heard recently, going back towards relating towards how people handle themselves in the business, and it's somewhat relating to how people charge, and charging monetary wise and whatnot. But you can see I'm leaving out a little bit later today for my Tuesday afternoon route than I usually do. I'll talk about why here in just a few minutes. But yeah, you get what you pay for really boils down to, do you want to pay less to have somebody that's cheap but isn't necessarily good and may not necessarily stand by their work? And an example of this recently that I encountered, one of my good friends calls me up and asks me, and this is a guy I don't work for, but he's one of my good, very close friends. He calls me up and is asking me about taking on new clients. And at first I'm thinking maybe his house, but I have kind of an idea that it's not his house really, because he's invested money in buying his own equipment and everything. So I'm thinking, well, it's not really probably not his house that he's wanting. It turns to come to find out he's asking me about taking over his parents' yard, and I'm kind of like, well, I kind of know a little bit of the layout of that yard and some of the details, so I'm not 100% on board necessarily right off the bat, but I'm not gonna also tell one of my best friends no right off the bat like that. I don't like doing that either. So come to find out, in the course of conversation, he tells me that the lawn guys they're using have just broke out their second window this season, and I'm just kind of, that's not good, not good at all, and I'm thinking to myself, what are they going to do? What is their plan? Well, they're not doing anything. That's their plan here, which it might sound really unusual, for somebody to just break a window and sit there and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, your window broke. Can you pay me now?" Which is essentially what happened here. But the more I think about it, the more I read about, and the more I interact with people and talk to others in the industry, it's actually a common problem. It's a bad deal it's a problem right now with people not standing behind their work. And one of the reasons that this happens is because people get themselves in this bind where they're not charging enough for their services. This is commonly known as the $20 guys, in some of the circles, or you talk to people in the industry, they're going to tell you, "Oh man, these damn $20 guys are stealing jobs from me, and this and that and this and that." I mean, yeah, the $20 guys are always going to exist. They're always going to have people out there that are going to roll the dice on them. But that is what they are. They are a dice roll. You roll the dice on them, hoping that you're going to get somebody who's going to give you quality, the good quality, close to what the big dogs, or even the guys that are good, quality lawn guys are going to provide, but at a fraction of the cost. Because they're probably, maybe either high school kids, or, they're not citizens, or whatever the reason may be that they're not charging, a lot of money. A lot of times it has to do with the fact that they're, not operating a business above board as far as that goes. They're not paying taxes. They're not, they're not carrying any sort of insurance. They're not doing the right things. They don't have an LLC, whatever it may be. They don't have the right, they haven't followed the right steps, to have an official, have a real legitimate company, So Well, this comes into play in other aspects in the business too. It's especially bad in tree, when it comes to tree trimming, guys, tree work and whatnot. You see, whenever a storm comes through here, like a tornado or a big windstorm, you see these fly-by-night boys in pickup trucks, with paper tags or Oklahoma tags. Those are common down here. Oklahoma tags. They're down here, driving around with a steel pole saw in the back and a couple of hand saws and trying to get tree jobs, and I've heard of people getting these guys to come out and oh yeah, I'll trim up your whole tree for $200, something ridiculous like that, and they come out here and they drop a limb on your roof, and cause some structural damage to your house, and they're gone. I mean, those guys are gone. They get in their truck and they're like, no, we're leaving. They probably say something else, but they probably say a lot worse than that. But they're like, we're out of here. Screw you, and they're they're gone. You never see them again. And now you're out. However many tens of thousands of dollars it is to fix your roof and your structure of your house. When you could have not been cheap from the get-go and hired a real bonded and insured tree business that carries the insurance and would probably charge you $900 to $1,000 to trim up a tree, a bunch of big trees, and then if something like that happens, you're okay. That's what insurance is for. That's what bonding and having all your ducks in a row. That's what that's for. So anyway, going back to my story here, the $20 guys in lawn care are very similar to this. They, when you use them, you're taking the gamble that they're not going to throw, rocks or mulch or whatever through somebody's windows. They're not gonna, scrape up your car when they're edging or trimming, or if they're not paying attention and run the mower into something. They're not gonna damage your property and then leave, or damage your property and then just shrug at it and say, oh, okay, I'm sorry, pay me, which frankly is pretty messed up. But I've been hearing a lot about that in the business these days, with people just not caring, and that goes back to you get what you pay for. If you pay for somebody that doesn't care, chances are, you're going to get somebody that doesn't care. And, everybody, the hook and the scam on this is everybody likes to think, oh, I got the one guy that does care. I got the $20 guy that isn't going to do this to me and this and that. Well, while it is possible that those people exist, in all reality, the chances that you have one of those people, very unlikely. So you might as well just accept that right now. You might as well just get used to paying a little more and not being so cheap, when it comes to what you want done, because there's other ways this can bite you in the ass, and case in point, I will give you an example from my own personal life, from what's going on right now. The reason I am leaving out here to go to my afternoon job at 3 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We, some of you may know, we had a new AC system, AC and heating system put in a couple months ago, back in March. We had a whole new system put in. Well, everything's been fine with it this time up until this past Saturday. So this past Saturday, we had, we come home from dinner and our AC units froze up, which, not a good thing. If you know anything about refrigerant and AC, air conditioning and whatnot, a frozen up condenser outside is not a good thing. A frozen up coil on the inside is not a good thing. You don't want ice in that situation, So came home to a warmer house, than it's supposed to be, and the condenser frozen up. So called the company that I use to do the air conditioning system. That I also have a service contract with them as well. So what this means is, you're a clown. Sorry, drivers down here are bad today. Anyway, what this means, this service contract, I pay, a small amount of money per month to have them come out. They have 2 visits each year that are covered. So they come out in the fall and they come out in the spring. And then any other time there'd be another maintenance call, instead of it being like $250 or something like that, which on a night or a weekend or a holiday, you're going to pay a lot of money for an air conditioning person to come out. You're going to pay a fortune. During normal business hours, you might pay 100, 120, something like that. But still, with this service plan, it's like half of that. So for a service call, for something that's not under warranty. In this case, they've come out, so anyway, let me finish the story. They called them up on a Saturday night, and this is like 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, Saturday night. Called them up. They left them a message. They're a major company here in Dallas. The ones that I use, they've been around since like 54 or 53, something like that. They've been around a long time, so this is something I went with one of the big dogs with, and this is why. So I called them up Saturday evening, left a message. A little while later, get a call back. Told them what's going on. They go, they said, well, we can come out anytime. We can come out now. I got a tech working. This was like 10 o'clock at night, 9:30 at night when I'm talking to them. They said, we can come out, within the next 4 or 5 hours, 3 or 4 hours, something like that, So they were ready to come out here at like, 1, 2 in the morning, and we thought about it for a minute, said, hey, let's make it tomorrow. We'll be all right for one night. Come out tomorrow. So they came out on a Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon, the guy worked for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, checking everything out. All under warranty, because this system's 3.5 months old. Shouldn't be having any problems with it. Haven't had any problems up till now, but anyway, works out there for a little while. Does a few things, checks a few things. Seems to be working okay. When we let it thaw out and everything, run it back again. Everything's fine. So Monday, that Sunday night goes by. Monday goes by. Everything's good. This morning I wake up and units froze up again. So sorry, units froze up again this morning. So yeah, called them again. Same deal. This time being on a weekday, they, fast track. It's that like quick, like lightning. They're out here. I called them at 7 o'clock in the morning. They were out here by noon. By noon they were out at my house. Had a guy out there working. Doing the checkups and everything. They found one possibility that could have been causing the issue. Hopefully this is it. This fixes it. But if it doesn't, I'll be calling them again. Rest assured. But this is why, in certain aspects like this, I know some people, would say, "Oh, you could have just, got a guy on Craigslist to replace your air conditioning for you, and he would have charged you $1,000 and done it, and you wouldn't have had to pay this huge amount of money," because we paid a lot of money for this system. But here's the thing: not only are you buying this system, you're buying the warranty that goes with it. You're buying the trust, and you're buying essentially what you're doing is you're buying the reputation of the people, and knowing they're going to stand behind their work. They're going to make sure everything's right. You may or may not get this. You're probably not going to get this, honestly, from just some old guy on the internet that you find, or some guy on Craigslist, that, oh, I do AC out of my back of my truck, and a lot of people want to be chintzy and save money this way. But what would happen, let's say, if we did this? And, everything's not working. We're out $1,000. We're out $2,500 because the compressor had to be bought. We're out $3,000 because one other component didn't work. You know, what happens if you have to call a big company anyway to fix the screw-ups of the small little fly-by-night guy? So, you know, this is why sometimes it's okay to pay, you know, these things to get the quality that you're paying for. Because if you pay cheap, you know, sometimes you'll make out okay, sometimes you'll win, but a lot of times you won't. And a lot of times, you know, you'll be stuck with, if the least thing you're stuck with is a broken window that's easily fixed, cool. You know, but if you do this in other avenues of your life, you know, you're stuck with a car that won't run, that you're still paying for, like some of these, you know, used car lots are known for, you know, or you get stuck with a appliance that doesn't work, or a part of your house that doesn't work. Yeah, this is why you pay for this. This is why you pay for a real reputable company to do work for you. And it's the same in lawn care. You know, if you pay for a guy to come out and cut your grass, and that guy breaks a window, worst case scenario, you should have a person who will do one of several things for you. One, they will either fix the window themselves if they know how, or if they have a contract with a glass guy or a glass company, they will make arrangements to fix that window. Two, they might say, you know, you fix the window, whatever you do, send me the bill. Or three, they might say, I have insurance, you know, I'll get my adjuster out to look at this, you know, this is what we can do moving forward, whatever. But either way, you handle it. You don't just leave the customer hanging. And, you know, I don't want this to turn into kind of a rant, but maybe it is a little bit. That's not what I would do in my business, and I'd hope nobody would do that to me. So, going back to the other analogy, we pay, you know, let's say I paid $9.99, $10 a month for this, you know, for this service contract with this AC company. $10 a month, that's $120 a year. Now, what would have happened if I didn't have that? I didn't have this warranty. I come out, you know, I have these people come out on a Sunday, assuming they even come out, because I'm not, you know, in their system. I'm not a preferred customer. They could just tell me, oh, we're 2 weeks behind. Sorry, you're SOL, you know. But assuming they even come out, you know, they're going to charge me $250 probably to just a service charge to come out. Plus, they could charge you, you know, all the material, like say if they added Freon, you know, whatever that is, $50 a pound or $60 a pound. Something like that is what it's going for right now, the R410A, if I remember correctly. But, you know, it's that they're going to hit you, you're going to be hit with a $500-600 bill maybe for one time. And here we are, you know, they've come out twice to deal with these, to check this, you know, warranty issue on this unit. Nothing. So why would you go cheap when you can go good? I would prefer to pay a little more money and not have to play games, because I hate playing games. If you like playing games, I mean, go for it. You know, go for it. But me personally, I don't like playing games. And a lot of my clients that I work for, they don't like playing games either. That's why they work for me. Or that's why I work for them, rather. That's why they use me. That's why they prefer to have me cut their grass. Well, I have arrived at my yard here, so I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope I didn't rustle too many feathers here with this little conversation here. Take care. Have a good one. Stay hydrated.